But let's talk about the YOBAs. The Top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards marks a significant milestone in 2026 as it opens nominations for its fifth edition, celebrating 5 years of spotlighting Africa's most innovative and resilient youth-owned brands. What began in 2022 as an awards platform has now evolved into a structured ecosystem for youth entrepreneurship, driving visibility, research partners, and meaningful industry connections. This year also sees the return of the two-day YOBA Festival on the 19th and the 20th of June, culminating in the prestigious award ceremony on the evening of June the 20th. Joining us on the line is the founder of YOBA, Pat Mahlangu, who has positioned the platform as what we, as many know and have now deemed it, the gold standard of youth excellence in Africa. Pat, welcome back to Channel Africa. How are you doing?
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your listeners. Thank you so much once again for giving us a platform to talk about this exciting initiative.
Always a pleasure having Pat Mahlangu on Channel Africa. And I guess, Pat, it's very important for us to establish, how the YOBAs began. What was the inspiration and what was the hope when you began these YOBAs?
Yeah, when I started the YOBAs, really I wanted to challenge the narrative that young people are apathetic, lazy, and entitled. We all know that whenever reports are being made about African youth, for many parts, it's negative. And I really wanted to challenge that, to say young people are not sitting on their laurels. They're actually, rolling up their sleeves, getting their hands dirty, and starting businesses that are solving serious societal problems, but also contributing not only to the economy of our continent, but also the overall image of this beautiful continent of ours.
I've always admired how you have not only built the YOBAs, but how you've been able to sustain it through the years, because, these types of initiatives have come and went, but you have actually grown and evolved over the years. Talk to us about, just some of the building tools, if you will, that have made you sustainable as a platform.
Yeah, I mean, when I started the YOBAs, I had hair, as you can see now.
That's funny.
But in the main, it hasn't been easy, and I think for me, for better parts, is that I had good support structure. I had people that still believe in the platform, that contributed positively to this platform. I also had a good team, although when I started, the majority of my team was quite junior and inexperienced, but I really pushed them. Some of them, didn't like it at the time, but that's what it required, of us, in order to also achieve excellence. So I'd say in my pocket, I really had I have good partners. I had some incredible brands that believe, in this initiative, that believe in the story that we want to tell, or that we are telling of Africa. But also at a personal level, I also have people that are supportive, that are backing me up. And of course, a team that really works hard for almost close to nothing, if I were to put it bluntly, because this type of work, as someone once said, it's a thankless job, because every year my company, some would say it's an investment. We lose money, and not just small money. We spend a lot of money in this initiative. Not only go ask, for sponsorship and partners, but we also invest our own resources, in this initiative.
The YOBAs are back. It
takes a lot of money. So when you talk about sustainability as well, there's been moments where I felt like, why am I doing this? Because it's eating into my pockets, it's eating into my other ventures, but also it's work that I think someone has to do it. We
Wow.
cannot stand on the sidelines, and that young people are on the periphery of the economy, whereas they have the talents, they have the skills, they have the potential, to participate actively in this economy. So I guess for me, that's the weight I'm willing to carry for as long as I can, to make sure that great stories of young Africans is being told, and also I personally believe that recognition can be the greatest motivation. So any young person that feels that their efforts are being seen, they tend to do more and want to do better. I've had some of our previous winners coming to me saying, look, when I started my business, I didn't even think it was a brand. I thought I was just, hustling. But, after winning this YOBA, I'm more encouraged to do more. I'm going to open more stores. I'm going to hire more people. I'm going to create more opportunities for fellow young people. And for me, that's the greatest return.
The voice of Pat Mahlangu. He's the founder of the YOBAs, the Youth Owned Brand Awards, in its 5th year in 2026, and we'll unpack what the theme is for this year and how you can be a part of it. Don't go anywhere.
Channel Africa is evolving, and so are you. Stay connected wherever you are with our brand new website and mobile app. Stream your favorite shows, catch up on African news, culture, and conversations, all at your fingertips.
Africa is just a tap away.
Your world, your stories, now on the go.
Stay connected wherever you are.
Visit channelafrica.co.za or download the Channel Africa app today. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Teboholi Kuleni and Mateko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
23 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Still in conversation with the founder of the Youth Owned Brands Awards, Pat Mahlangu, in its 5th year this year, 2026. Pat, what is the theme for the year 2026, and I guess as we open up the nominations for the youth who will be a part and who would like to be a part of this, just mention those categories that one can be a part of or can submit for so that they can be recognized this year.
So this year with the 5th installment of the YOBAs, we are saying excellence knows no boundaries. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what resources you have or how much resources you don't have. Excellence always has a way of showing itself. And that's our mantra, that's our theme, for 2026, to say excellence really knows no boundaries. So if you feel like your brand has reached a certain level of excellence as a young person in the continent and you wish to enter for these awards, so you can visit our website www.top16yoba.africa, top16yoba.africa. You must be between the ages of 18 and 35 to enter, and your business must be domiciled somewhere in the continent. As you may know, for the African continent, so it's we award regionally, so east, west, and SADC. So should you wish to enter, if you are in any of those regions, you can definitely enter for the YOBAs. We've got 16 different categories ranging from agriculture, technology, media, apparel, fashion, education and literacy. So you can go onto our website and check all the different categories that we have. As we rightfully mentioned at the start with the intro, this year will mark the return of the YOBA Festival, which is a 2-day festival where we'll have the largest number of youth-owned businesses under one roof at the richest square mile in Africa. that is incentive. So if you all about, you know, supporting youth excellence, that's the place that you need to be. Should you obviously want to book a stand, you know, to come showcase your brand, that's the space that I mean, you should definitely be reaching out to us. If you are a brand, you're looking for an initiative that really moves young people forward in the continent of Africa, then you should definitely be partnering with us.
You know, I'm listening to just how big this idea is. I mean, this is no longer a platform. This is now really building legacies that are going to outlive us. And congratulations for that. And I think there isn't a better time for the YOBAs to exist than right now. I was following what's been happening at the African Union Summit, actually, that just concluded. And a lot of, you know, the delegates, including Madame Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, His Excellency, his name escapes me, the statesman from Burundi. And they were talking about, you know, intra-trade, the continental free trade and where it's going and opening up space and doors for economic participation on the continent. And young people were mentioned. So this is such a vital platform considering where the continent is going, you know, the fight for a visa-free Africa so that we can trade with one another. So with that, how do you see youth-owned brands participating and being recognized in spaces of really trading with one another and creating community and opportunity for trade across the borders?
Yeah, I hold the view that young people are better, or the youth, African youth rather, is better positioned to be the ones that are driving the intra-Africa trade agenda.
Yeah.
You know, one, young people have the energy, have the time on their side, you know, to be able to really see this agenda forward. So if you start with young people, the sooner they start, the next 10 years may look very different in terms of how much trade is happening, you know, within the continent. What often happens is that, unfortunately, because we've seen it, we continue to see it on a daily basis, that, and this is not an attack to anyone, but if someone wants to sound relevant, they have to mention the youth, but they never follow through with actions, and it's still somewhat ish, you know, operating in an ageist society, you know, and I think the biggest mistake that the leaders or the African leaders tend to make, I mean, we also see it with some countries where you have a president that is north of 80 years old, you know, being at the helm of the country, but yet they'll tell you that they believe in young people if they can't even give people who are younger than them opportunities. Sometimes, those are some of the things that really makes one not to get too excited when we hear such statements.
Yeah.
But what I know is that with or without, you know, the leadership's involvement, young people are doing what they're supposed to do, and they know exactly that no one is coming to save them, and they are the only ones that they've got. So it's great that the youth is being mentioned in those spaces, but the ultimate outcome will be to see young people, you know, also being invited in those spaces, and young people really you know, mentioning or raising the challenges that they continue to face when it comes to trade. But I'm encouraged. For me, I mean, that's why we're going on for 5 years. You know, we've seen, you know, various youth-owned businesses growing from strength to strength. You know, and for me, that's a big win.
5 years of the YOBAs, and if you'd like to be a part of it, you are a youth-owned brand yourself and would like to nominate yourself in one of the 16 categories, the website is top16yoba.co.za, and you can also get in touch with Pat if you'd like to support the cause, sponsor, not just for this year, but in the long term as well. Pat, thank you so much for your time and all the best with this year's edition of the YOBAs.
Thank you so much for the platform, and always thank you for always supporting this initiative. And I know last year you came, at the awards show, and you did an OB. So I hope again this year we'll see you at the YOBAs. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it. The voice of Pat Mahlangu, the founder of the YOBAs.